everyone, you're watching The Big Fight and I'm Maria Shakil. Exit polls have given their verdict. While we wait for the actual results, which will come on the 3rd, here is a look at the 10 big takeaways from the exit polls. Takeaway number 1. We may have been talking of polarized politics, and for the first time, the exit polls give a polarized picture. 2 states for the Congress, 2 for the BJP. In fact, exit polls have made both the national parties quite happy. Placard number 2, that is the big takeaway number 2. In the best of situation in the past, the Congress hasn't crossed the majority mark on its own in Rajasthan. This time, some pollsters have given an upper limit of 101 to the Congress in a state which traditionally follows a revolving door sentiment. Does this mean Gehlot, the magician, has pulled his biggest trick ever? 3 pollsters have predicted a BJP wave in Madhya Pradesh despite 18 years of anti-incumbency. Others predict a dead heat between the BJP and the Congress. Can the BJP's gambit of collective leadership under the overarching umbrella of Prime Minister Modi be the answer to the fatigue over its state governments? Takeaway number 4. As the pollsters say that there is a 3% error of margin, plus minus, from one-way election in 2018 with 68 seats in Chhattisgarh to a comfortable victory for Bhupesh Baghel, with the BJP also improving its tally, it may not be all gloom and doom for the BJP in the 90-member Chhattisgarh Assembly. All the pollsters predict Telangana for the Congress. If that happens, it will win a second southern state on its own. But why are there no takers for the double-engine narrative of the BJP in South India? We ask. In Mizoram, it appears that the incumbent MNF, which campaigned extensively on the Manipur unrest and ethnic ties with Kukis in neighboring Manipur, is losing out despite the campaign on regional identity. The Zoram People's Movement, a relatively younger party, appears to be the biggest gainer with its campaign based on governance and welfare. The Congress has not managed to revive itself despite a leadership change. Welfarism plus Hindutva for the BJP and welfarism plus soft Hindutva for the Congress, with Revant Reddy in fact doing Govardhan Puja on the day of polls and Kamal Nath and Gehlot showcasing temple runs. The question is, have these parties found a template for 2024? Vocal for local. After Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka, if the Congress wins Chhattisgarh and Telangana as predicted by pollsters and manages to win another Hindi state, it's clear that the party's local leadership can take on brand Narendra Modi in state elections. A good score for the Congress will increase its bargaining power within the India bloc for seats in the Lok Sabha polls as well. And the final takeaway, pollsters predict cliffhanger in some states, clear majorities in others. But since elections are the festival of democracy, let there be a celebration that women voters might have just shown the way. Joining me on the show, G. Ranjit Reddy is a member of the Lok Sabha of the BRS. We have Robert Royt, Mizoram Sports and Tourism Minister, Sandeep Shastri, Professor and National Coordinator of Lokniti, Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the Congress, Ajay Alok, representing the BJP. In the studio, Manisha Priyam, Amitabh Tiwari, Sanjay Singh. Starting with you, Manisha Priyam. 10 takeaways we have talked about. Before 3rd, there will be a lot of takeaways that will be discussed. Your first punch.
Maria, now you've had a very, as I would say, localized narrative. You brought it all together, nothing more to say. But I would say no political moment is the same one that just passed behind. Tell me, who expected that in a devastated Manipur, a neighboring state of Mizoram would articulate the voices of the Kukizo movement as well? So the vast expanse of the Indian democracy provides a voice. And I think the second important takeaway is that in the state of Telangana, a state that had just been formed under Shri KCR, and I remember his movement and that overturning the movement for separation of Andhra Pradesh itself from the wider territory of Tamil Nadu. In that state you find that the very person who was the architect of formation of Telangana, as I have been calling him the Birsa Munda for the movement of Telangana, that his leadership would be taken on by a Reddy leadership, a combined therefore umbrella of Andhra politics, the Mala Madiga subdivision sentiments notwithstanding, you find that the politics of the dominant and behind that certain anti-incumbency and ideology level factors providing for a script for a state level arena.
Okay.
And I think the overall lesson is that the Congress is able to punch its weight in smaller parties, not in such larger parties.
Professor Sandeep Shastri, your 1 minute begins now.
Maria, I think the 5 states will show that the states of India are the center of politics when it comes to state assemblies. And next year we are likely to see that the center is the focus of national politics. I think for me these two narratives are emerging. Local issues, local leadership, local factors defining and deciding state polls, whereas larger issues becoming important in the Lok Sabha poll. I think for me what I'm going to look out for on Sunday is, does the Telangana verdict redefine the nature of politics in South India? Will a Congress revival be heralded by the results in Telangana is what I'm going to look out for. And as Dr. Manisha rightly put it, there would be various factors which would go into that verdict if our exit polls turn out to be correct.
So let's wait till 3rd. Sanjay Singh.
Maria, since we are discussing this in aftermath of exit polls, I'll begin from where you left. Elections are a festival in our democracy, and so as take exit polls as one of those colors of festival. Don't take that by heart. And over a period in time we were told and we learned that you get a trend out of exit poll, if not the result, as to who is winning, who is losing. As you said in your first placard, two pollsters giving a landslide or 3 to BJP in Madhya Pradesh, and 2 others going in other direction. Same way in Rajasthan, 2 pollsters, one in particular giving, I think her number for Congress is 106, something which has never happened in past for Congress. They have been around the majority mark. So this time around, the exit polls, the actual results when it happens, these results people would also like to see and judge the pollsters.
So they'll be judging the pollsters post the results.
And it seems that different pollsters have gone to different areas, spoken to entirely different set of people,
and they have
not judged the right sentiment.
Yeah, so in every state we are witnessing a delivery versus promise battle, and the lines between pro-incumbency and anti-incumbency are blurring.
Yes.
In 3 states we are seeing incumbent chief ministers either winning or putting up a very strong fight. In one state, which is Telangana, we are seeing that a CM who has delivered, who has brought phenomenal schemes like Raitu Bandhu, which have been sort of copied by the central government in a PM Kisan Nidhi, is seen struggling. So different states are showing us different trends. There is no common theme or trend which is evolving, and pollsters will be judged. Now there will be a demand of a statutory body to look after pollsters. Who are funding these pollsters? Who is their promoter? What is their background? Do they have the research methodologies to actually predict polls, which everybody of us is relying on?
Yes. So Professor Gaurav Valla, who is a candidate of the Congress party, is also joining us. But before that, Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the Congress, and Ajay Alok, both of you, your first punch, go ahead. Rohan.
I think, Maria, if you see this exit poll results, you cannot judge anything. There are few polls who are giving Congress edge. There are few polls who are giving BJP edge in MP and Rajasthan. So I think we should not comment. It's not that because obviously these 2 days you have only polls to discuss. But if you see these elections overall, what are the narratives for 2024? One thing is very clear, the BJP's gamble of not banking on the local leaders is going to pay off very, very heavily. It is going to go against BJP very, very heavily. All the states, they have faced this in Karnataka, in Himachal, that they ignored the local leadership and projected national leadership in local elections. If you see Congress on the other hand, we have always projected our local leadership. Other important thing is we are fighting the game of narrative. That is our guarantees, the delivery of our guarantees in other states and how we are going to deliver these guarantees in the state where the elections are going to be held. This narrative of our guarantees has really ensured the BJP negative narrative of Hindu-Muslim politics or a communal politics. It is on back foot.
Okay.
You have seen that in Karnataka. You will see in all the elections. And once these elections are over and Congress is going to win in all of them, this will change narrative
Ajay,
for national
Alok,
level. And BJP
which
will
part
also
of the exit polls are you looking
ensure
at?
the positive narrative.
Well, we are looking at all the greener aspect of the exit poll. In all the all the 4 states, or I'll rather say, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan or Telangana, we are increasing our tally. And I'm pretty sure that given our track record, because once the election starts, if you are on an upswing, you keep on doing an upswing. So in all the 3 states, we are on an upswing, and I'm pretty sure that we will form the government in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. As far as Telangana goes, we will definitely have a very strong presence. Don't forget, we just had only 1 seat, and this time all the exit polls are showing us that we'll get something between 7 to 12. So I take this as a jump. Now, with the 1 seat, we had 4 Lok Sabha seats in 2019. So definitely with this much seat, our tally in the Lok Sabha is also going to improve.
Okay.
So for us, it's a bag of good results, what we are expecting.
Okay. So obviously the politicians, both of them, Rohan Gupta and Ajay Alok, are looking at the greener side of these exit polls. But coming to the candidate here, Professor Gaurav Vallabh, Congress candidate from Udaipur, and I will ask the studio guests also to pitch in these questions. Which side of the exit polls are you looking at, Professor Vallabh?
Maria, I can only convey my thoughts only for the state of Rajasthan, because other states I was not well aware. But for Rajasthan, I can tell you that Congress is going to form the government, and most of the exit polls are also showing the same. And I can give you the reason, Maria. In Rajasthan, the politics of polarization, that end full stop is there. Now there is a politics of satisfaction, not polarization. Satisfaction to the state government employees in the form of OPS, satisfaction to the ladies for getting 500 rupees gas cylinder, satisfaction to the middle class for getting 50 lakh rupees of health insurance. So now there is a politics of satisfaction. ध्रुवीकरण की जगह मारिया संतुष्टिकरण हो गया.
लेकिन इस पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ सैटिस्फैक्शन की जो आप बात कर रहे हैं और बोल रहे हैं कि the Hindutva politics, or that has been rejected, but we did see those images also of you going to a temple. So the temple run of the Congress party is also continuing. I mean, that's for optics.
Maria, I'm just asking the people who are sitting here whether they believe in particular ideology or not, but are they not going to their religious places? If I am a Hindu, I am not going to religious places. Maria, problem is that other than election, if I am going to election, Maria Shakil is not covering me. But during the election, if I am going, then Maria Shakil is covering me. That is the problem.
Okay. So Manisha Priyam has a question for you, Gaurav.
No, I'm just looking at the range of your political geography. I saw you last fighting the Jamshedpur elections. And I was quite surprised to see you in the Udaipur elections. Which of the politics would you like to prefer? The Jamshedpur politics, which is very much a politics of industrialization and labor unions, or the Udaipur politics where surprisingly you had a saffron safa on while you were fighting the elections. So,
Manisha ji.
And I follow you closely. Forget the television. I follow you closely.
Can I revert Manisha ji? Manisha ji, Udaipur is my native place. Jamshedpur is the place where I work, but I slightly differ from you, Manisha ji, that in Jamshedpur also that union and all those things were talks of 90s and 80s. Now there is a new Jamshedpur, and Udaipur is the world's most beautiful city. So both are, one is the India's industrial hub and another is the India's tourism hub. So they had their own style of thought process, their style of functioning. So as far as politics is concerned, politics is all about how you affect the people who are standing in the last row of the queue. So
Okay.
I think politics is more or less same. There is not much difference in politics. Politics is that how you talk, how
Okay.
what you
We have
want
one
to
more
do,
question
it has
and then
nothing
I
to
will
do
say
with
bye-bye to you. Sanjay Singh?
वन सिंपल थिंग, अगर हिंदी में मैं पूछूं,
हाँ.
इतनी मारामारी टिकट के लिए होती है, इतने सारे रिबल होते हैं, मतलब एक मैजिशियन वहाँ गहलोत जी हैं, दूसरे मेरे ख्याल से आप भी मैजिशियन हैं क्या, कि मतलब वहाँ से भी लड़े, फिर यहाँ आकर के लड़े, फिर बाकी चीज़ों को जिस तरह से बयां कर रहे हैं, तो ये अपने आप में बड़ी उपलब्धि है। ये शायद थोड़ा ये क्वालिटी के बारे में या कैसे कुछ लोगों को बताएंगे तो बहुत लोगों को फायदा होगा।
संजय जी, इसके लिए एक बार मारिया आपको और मुझे दोनों को बुलाएगी। अभी बिग फाइट पे हम मुझे लगता है एग्जिट पोल के लिए आए हैं, उसके बाद आपको भी मैं अपना बताऊंगा व्यूज। पर राइट नाउ संजय जी, इश्यू ये है कि देश एक ऐसी पार्टी के खिलाफ राजस्थान ने वोट दिया है जिन्होंने पूरा इलेक्शन नेतृत्व विहीन, नीति विहीन और नियत विहीन। The BJP had contested Rajasthan election without leader, without policy, and without fair things. You will be surprised, Sanjay ji. Let me complete. You will be surprised that the sitting MLA of the Udaipur city, who is also the governor of Assam state, he was campaigning in the city. And I wrote letters to the election commission, marked the CC to the president of India, no action. He was the sitting MLA and the current I can say the governor of Assam. He was campaigning for BJP.
Okay, Gaurav Vallabh, before I let you go, 20 seconds, your answer. Could the Congress have been a united house, at least presented a united front in these elections? Because, perhaps the picture would have been different, because right now the upper limit is far bigger than what you have got in all these elections.
I think, Maria, wait for 24 hours. We will be having a handsome numbers. And I am a man of data. I don't lie. I can tell you very fairly that we will be having a total tally better than the last 2018 tally. Okay. We are going to have number of MLAs more than our 2018 MLAs.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll connect with you again on 3rd. Let me bring in another candidate, Robert Roy. He is Mizoram's Tourism and IT Minister. You had hoped that there will be a running theme of what is being seen as unrest in Manipur. But that doesn't seem to be really a talking point in the state, if we go with the exit polls.
Thank you very much, Maria. At the outset, I'd like to express my personal view regarding India Today exists my India, post-poll report, wherein it has given 28 to 35 seats out of 40 to ZPM. That is totally unacceptable, and because there are as many as more than 14, 15 MLS seats where ZPM has no significant presence. And this report is, seems to be very biased. And I have 6 survey reports with me now. Out of 6, only 2 have given more seats to ZPM, where 4 reports have given an edge to MNF.
Yes, so we'll wait for the results on 3rd, but...
At the beginning of your, when you start the discussion, you told that ZPM is, more hopeful than MNF. That is also not correct as part of the report of das post-poll survey. And and you see, Mizoram is located in such a very, very remote area, and it is very difficult to believe the post-poll survey reports who have done from outside of the state. And you see, in view of the present government, which is free of corruption and which has been doing a very good for the development, and not only that.
So you're thinking of a completely different set of answers here. Amitabh Tiwari, quick question for him and then I move on to other guests.
So what is your opinion on the final prediction, sir? Because you're saying that some of the polls are not correct, and why do you feel that these are not correct and do not reflect the actual situation on the ground?
I am of the view that majority of the post-poll surveys will be correct, and MNF will certainly form the government.
And what do you think was the impact of the Manipur issue on the Mizoram politics and elections?
MNF has gained a lot politically also because of Manipur imbroglio. So I am sure that because of Manipur issues, there are many hidden votes. I should say hidden votes, because Manipur products are a large number in Mizoram. Tens of, so they will vote for MNF. It is very likely that they will vote for MNF because MNF has done wonderful jobs for the people of Manipur, for the Mizo, you see, Mizo,
all right.
Mizo people.
Robert Roy, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. We'll connect with you again on 3rd. Let's put the spotlight now on Telangana. And as Professor Sandeep Shastri was saying, and there seems to be almost an understanding between all the analysts here, that there would be a tectonic shift in Indian politics if the Congress were to win the state. So did the BRS, Mr. Reddy, take the Congress for granted and you ignored it or overlooked it for last 1 year?
A very good evening to all the panelists. Let me not comment on the other states, but what has happened in Telangana, the polls were on till 9 p.m. yesterday and the exit polls have come at 4:30. You would want to jump into conclusion saying that Congress is coming to power. I don't really understand what is all this, because after 4:30, almost 18 to 19% polling has happened. And we talk a difference of 2-3%. And third point, for a party with 104 seats out of 119 in Telangana, we are going for the third time election. Any reduction in the number, you would want to call it as a defeat? No. Third thing, and the final point is, for the welfare schemes, what we have done in Telangana for the last 10 years, as Mr. Tiwari has rightly said, the schemes which were not done in any of the states, all those schemes were implemented. I don't understand why people will not vote for the BRS again to come to power. All the surveys which are positive for BRS also are there. It is not that only all the surveys have shown Congress as coming back to power. So the difference of 5-10 seats, and it is very clearly seen that 15 to 20 seats have a keen fight also. We talk about 10-15 seats difference. We talk about 20 seats of keen
Rohan,
fight.
will you respond to that? Because what the Congress needs, yes, the momentum is in the favor of the Congress. It may have got the narrative right, but it needs a massive swing of 10% votes.
Yeah, that's what I say is, last time that the difference of vote was so much, definitely there will be
Rohan,
improvement.
please go ahead.
It does not
Rohan
mean
Gupta,
that,
yes. Rohan, you have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, Maria, is politics doesn't work on history and arithmetic. It works on chemistry and future. The way Congress Party's complete campaign in Telangana, there was a strong anger of people of Telangana against the current government, the corruption, the unfulfilled promises. They saw Congress as the only alternative. They saw that BRS, BJP and MIM are one. We could ensure that this narrative penetrated in the minds of people, because that is the truth. And that's why all anti-BRS, all anti-party, anti-government voted. They consolidated in favor of Congress. And that's why you see this number. I was not speaking in between. This is not a debate like this. I was on ground for 3 months, Maria. The way I saw increase of Congress Party, because we could get the confidence of people on ground that Congress is the only party who is fighting BRS with honesty. Whether BJP or MIM, they are supporting BRS internally. So there was a strong anti-incumbency. We could project our strong state leadership. They fought collectively. We could give our seat guarantees. seat generator is penetrated. And at the end of the day, the kind of expectation what we have Telangana, you will see much more than what we see in exit polls. That is my calculation.
So you are expecting a landslide there. But Professor Shastri, the question is also what changes if the Congress were to win the state of Telangana?
What changes if the Congress were to win Telangana? I think a lot changes. I think there would be a change in terms of the dynamics of politics in important ways. A victory for the Congress in Telangana would mean a revival, a second revival after the victory in Karnataka. That momentum will build up for the Congress. And the Congress, which faces quite a difficult situation in many states of North India and West India, would see the South as a space where its revival can begin. And in the next year's Lok Sabha election, they would see Karnataka and Telangana as the two states which could herald in whatever way they can a comeback into the national politics and a return to a larger number of seats. So I think this Telangana verdict when it comes out on Sunday could make a difference.
You know, it is about welfareism, Manisha Priyam. You have worked extensively in Telangana. If a chief minister who has rolled out so many schemes, if the exit polls were to hold, if he is not supported by the people and they are going instead on promises that are being offered by the Congress party, then if guarantees versus promises, or someone, they would have enjoyed the benefits of the state. Raitu Bandhu, for example.
Maria, I cannot agree with you more than this because, Mahbubnagar, Jadcharla, Dharur, Aiza, these are blocks and mandals of Telangana that have walked on foot, and especially till about 2015, this area was particularly parched for water. So there was an Andhra Pradesh that had an abundance of green agriculture, the wealth in East Godavari, one of the richest regions agriculturally of India, and you had this side. I would go to schools and I would find children not there, and I would go back to be told that there's such a drought in these districts that parents have migrated for work taking their children along. I would go to the Yelamma festivals, and I always believed that the route to a strong Telangana state was actually this emphasis on welfareism, and especially in the parched lands, the coming in of irrigation, power, these things were very, very important. Remember, Chandrababu Naidu loses an entire Andhra election because he had raised the tariff for power under the influence of the World Bank restructuring. Now there, where I believed that welfareism was delivering not charisma, not magic, not any kind of ideology of the land, it was a Telugu Mata that unified Andhra and Telangana. But in the divided Telangana, I always believed that welfareism trumps everything else. So definitely a lot of soul searching if indeed the exit poll hold true. And even if they don't, even if the Congress does better, I would say that the BRS, the erstwhile TRS, KCR and his family will need to do a lot of soul searching for where they may have slipped up and ceded ground to the Congress, which had been non-existent.
Was it
so
about
far.
inaccessibility? Mr. Reddy, that chief minister was seen as inaccessible, and also there is this understanding that you could have gone for changing your MLAs against whom there was anti-incumbency. The chief minister may not have been unpopular, but you had unpopular MLAs on the ground.
You should not find fault with me. There are two things what I want to tell. All the MLA candidates were declared about 3 months before the elections. So by then, the Congress and the BJP party were poaching on us. They were looking for the candidates who will not be given tickets in our party so that they'll get the candidates along with the cadre. That was the situation of both the parties here. After that, as far as the non-availability of the chief minister is concerned, we have formed 33 districts out from 10 districts. So out of 33 districts, we have all the centers, all the excellent collectorates wherein all the we have integrated offices everywhere in all the 33 districts. So when all the offices are available, when the things are going pretty smoothly, all the welfare schemes are with the DBT, what else is the issue in Telangana? How does it matter whether they have to meet the CM or someone else who is higher up than the collectorate and all? When the things are not implemented properly, then they have to go to the CM, then they have to write to the CM.
Okay, Amita.
Turnout in Telangana has been lower than last year, last time. Generally, lower turnouts are good for the incumbent. Gujarat is a classic example of it. 2 terms continuously low turnout, and BJP has been scraping through once and winning. See, urbanization is a double-edged sword. The level of urbanization in Telangana is 48%. All India is 35%. But then this creates a neo-middle class aspirational class. And there is a high slum population also in Telangana, which lacks basic civic necessities. So there is also a sort of a battle between the haves and have-nots in urban pockets, where the BRS used to be fairly strong.
So you have Greater Hyderabad region, and the BJP did fight, GHMC polls very, very fiercely. But Ajay Alok, you vanished from the scene. I mean, till a year ago, it was seen as a contest between the BJP, you were seen as a challenger to BRS, and then the entire campaign frizzled out. It is the Congress which peaked at the right moment. So what went wrong? Do you think you could have undergone that organizational changes where you got Mr. Kishan Reddy? Could that have happened earlier?
See, right from the beginning, we are saying this, that we are going to just register a very strong presence in Telangana. There is no doubt about it. In the last corporation election, we bagged 44 seats in the Greater Hyderabad region. Of course, the organizational strength is picking up. And we are pretty sure that from 1 to 10 if we go, it's a good achievement. We don't mind that. It's a beginning time for us. We didn't vanish from the scene. And secondly, Telangana is also witnessing a battle of appeasement. The battle of appeasement between Congress and BRS. And don't forget, now out of 120 seats, 40 seats are just Muslim dominated, and that's why they are fighting for it.
Okay,
what we are fighting is for the
Ajay
development
Alok,
of Telangana.
is it
Both
also
the parties
not a fact
fighting for their family.
that the BJP failed to convince the people, and if we go with these statistics, that you were actually a challenger to the incumbent? The Congress appeared to be more sincere in coming out with that narrative that they are actually the challenger to BRS.
See, the perception is being made, right? The perception is always there that the BJP is a major challenger to both the parties. And we campaigned really hard, and it's in the hands of the people whether they accept us or not. If they don't accept us, that is also, we'll accept it with the folded hand and we'll continue to work further. When did we claim that we are going to form the government? But we are still saying that we will have a very strong presence in Telangana. There is no doubt about it.
Okay.
When after winning 1 MLA seat, we can win 4 parliament seats, then if we win 10 MLA this time, just imagine the kind of parliament seat we are going to win in 2024. It won't be less than 10.
Okay.
That's for
They
sure.
had 5 MLAs in 2014. It fell to 1.
Yes.
So the rise will not be from 1 to 10. It will maximum be from 5 to 10. It could still be
Rohan
5.
wants to come in.
See, basically, Maria, if you see Telangana elections, the way why the narrative changed against BJP, they changed their president, the state president, who was the most performing one. Under his leadership, they won the by-elections. When they changed that president, people of Telangana realized that this BJP and BRS won. And at central level, when BJP wanted support, whether it is note ban or GST, BRS supported them. Kavita was not arrested in liquor scam. This was another major issue. When Aam Aadmi Party, 2 leaders were in jail and BRS leaders not in jail, obviously there is something wrong something is cooking between them. Apart from that, at local level or national level, whenever one another required each other, they have supported, and this is quite clear in minds of people. Ajay Alokji told that it is perception. No, the perception created based on the evidences and reality. This is what we took to the people of Telangana, that look, whether it is MIM, whether it is BJP or BRS, there are no cases against MIM. Why? You will find all the leaders who are in opposition party, there are cases of ED. There was no ED in Telangana till the election ended. So it is clear that when MP and Telangana, there was no ED, there were no cases. Obviously, there is some ilu between BRS and BJP.
Okay.
And that's what we expose
Sanjay
them.
Singh, coming to the Hindi belt, because there are 3 states there, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. If the incumbents were to return to power, because that is not being ruled out, then what did the BJP do right in Madhya Pradesh, and what did they do wrong in other 2 states?
If the incumbents did not return, that includes Shivraj Singh Chauhan also. So,
If they were to return to power.
were to return to power. In all 3 states, I find it very difficult. For all said and done, Rajasthan is a very difficult state. And Gaurav Ballav's optimism and other persons' optimism notwithstanding, I think Rajasthan is a clearly poised or tilted towards the BJP, irrespective of what some pollsters or outliers are saying. Basically because Rajasthan, there are too many issues for far too long. Only in the last 6 months, Mr. Gehlot kind of pulled few things together and started talking about welfareism. And that was also the period when Sachin Pilot kind of withdrew from his aggressive path that he had taken. But people generally tend to vote not just on one issue that you were mentioning about Telangana, about the kind of welfareism. ये दिल मांगे more type का हो जाता है. When you got so many things free, you want ये भी free, वो भी free, ये दे रहा है और भी देगा.
No, but even if it becomes a close contest, then it should be a reason of concern for the BJP.
Yes, if that happens, but that has not happened so far. Let final results come on 3rd. I think that would be tilted clearly towards the BJP because there also is a history. As you had said in your opening remarks, in best of times, in last 20 years, they got 100 seats. Prior to that, 95, 96 seat and with BSP and some other parties.
Because the independents or the rebels will play a role there.
In worst of time, or in best of times for Congress, that was last election, was so much of anger against Vasundhara Raje, they could score 100. To cross that mark, there has to be huge pro-incumbency for Mr. Gehlot. That huge pro-incumbency is missing.
No, but Professor Shastri, from Gehlot not being given a chance, to the exit polls, showcasing that he is very much in the reckoning, that's quite a miles that, he has traveled.
Maria, when the campaign began in Rajasthan, the general view was that the BJP is very comfortable to state. Not only revolving door, Congress infighting, all those factors were made. But I think as the campaign went along, the Congress strategically decided to make Gehlot the face of the campaign. I believe all the posters that you saw across the state had Mr. Gehlot as the center of the campaign. So I think by projecting the chief minister and the work he had done, the Congress was able to make some recovery, making the contest a little more keener contest. So my own view is, be it Rajasthan, be it Madhya Pradesh, irrespective of what the exit poll numbers say, I think both the states are seeing a very, very close contest.
Yes, and in both the states, it is one face versus a collective leadership.
See, I think Shastri ji makes a very important point. In Rajasthan, we see the overall result. Rivaz, state throws out government every 5 years. Why? Because only 38% of sitting MLAs win the elections. Only 38%. And for Congress, the strike rate is only 25%. For BJP, it is 50%. So Ashok Gehlot realized this, did not change the tickets because in a post-poll scenario, he also needs people on his side to be the chief minister. But he attempted to convert the election into a presidential style election.
About himself.
Yeah, about himself and Modi versus himself.
Yes.
Modi versus Gehlot, all posters. And he started the campaign in February when he launched the budget. Whereas BJP's campaign has started just recently. Because of infighting, they were not able to counter him for the past 4 years. This Nahi Sahega Rajasthan is a very recent 3-6 months old campaign. So there is where he has attempted and probably succeeding to some extent.
Yes, so Ajay, Alok, in both these states, you have collective leadership versus a very clear leadership on the part of the Congress. Be it Mr. Kamal Nath versus plethora of leaders or a spectrum of leaders. In the other side, it is again Ashok Gehlot versus so many. Or in fact, confusion on the other side.
See, right from there was no confusion at all. It was a strategic decision made by the party that we are going to contest under the joint leadership, and our face will be Prime Minister Narendra Modi itself. And with the issues pertaining in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan, one thing was very clear, that the chemistry of the people and the pulse of the people was with the party and with the Prime Minister. In Madhya Pradesh, Modi ke dil mein MP. This connected with the people, and the result is there to see. And for Rajasthan, let me tell you, whatever the pollster may be begun, we won't be less than 125, that's for sure. Because Rajasthan is marked by many problems. Crime against women, this lynching episodes, open appeasement, law and order failure, the complete economic destabilization of Rajasthan, all kind of corruption, the red diary. There are so many issues in Rajasthan. How can Congress even think of getting even 50?
Okay.
I don't think. Let the result come. And my dear friend was saying that you wait for 24 hours. I'll say wait for 48 hours. It's still 48 hours before the result comes.
Okay,
So
Rohan,
they are in a state of mind of array.
What did the Congress not do right in the state of Madhya Pradesh? Was there an over-reliance on Mr. Kamal Nath? Because if you look at it, this was an election for you to win. I mean, in the sense that after
Obviously they are
18
going to
years
win.
of anti-incumbency, if the state is not won by the challenger, then when will you actually register your presence?
I think, Maria, I don't know which exit poll you are believing and you are commenting this.
No, I'm looking
Just
at a
wait.
number
All
of
the
them.
states-
They are giving a landslide
that's
to the
what, so I'm
BJP.
saying that's what I'm saying. So 120 seat also is there for Congress party. So that's what I'm saying. The kind of range what we see in exit polls, we should hold our horses till next 48 hours. But yeah, from the ground level report, what we get, there is a strong anti-incumbency against BJP government in
Could
Madhya
you
Pradesh. We are
improve from
going to get
24 to
benefit.
48 hours?
We could penetrate our guarantees there. There is a strong wave in favor of Congress, and you'll see this. Rajasthan, we were fighting on the basis of our state government performance. Madhya Pradesh, we were fighting against strong anti-incumbency. Chhattisgarh, against our state has performed well. Telangana, against strong anti-incumbency. And all for these places, our strategy was very clear. How we are showing that where we were in government, we have delivered in timeline, and where we are in opposition, if we come to government, how we will deliver. So our focus is obviously people, the issues of the people, the issues faced by people, corruption. We never wanted to win these elections or fight this election on communal or emotional issues like BJP. If you see a BJP in Rajasthan, they have changed their goalposts. They started with ED, they went to Hindu-Muslim, then again they came to the unfulfilled of promises, and finally on the last day of elections, Mr. Prime Minister had to take name of our leader. What is the situation? Where are your issues? Are you fighting election on the basis of what happened to Sachin Pilot? This is the scarcity of issues they had in Rajasthan.
Is it
They had
really
no
scarcity of
local
issues,
state leader.
Manisha Priyam? Or could a united front on the part of the Congress have completely turned the table?
So we still have to wait for December 3. But my understanding very much is that the Congress would not do as well in the eastern parts, especially the area where Sachin Pilot has been an important leader. And if the Congress had been able to keep the Gujjar vote intact, and Sachin Pilot's leadership, remember, he is the one who takes out the rallies when the Rajasthan Public Service Commission paper leaks happen. So there was something to the fact that Gehlot should have kept a Sachin Pilot member. Karnataka election is a double engine between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. Nobody remembers that Siddaramaiah lost the last elections and he had all the Bhagya and the Purna schemes and welfareism. So he had the Ahinda social coalition of the backward caste and the anti-Brahmin movement. He had the minorities, Alp-Mat, with him. He had the schemes going for him. Why did he lose the elections in 2018? And I think the double engine in Karnataka was a lesson to Rajasthan. The Congress did not take that script. It tells us very importantly that the Congress central leadership is still beholden to what I would say the stubbornness. And now compare that to a BJP which in the aftermath of the Karnataka elections has been seen as changing its strategy, getting in Vijayendra, getting Yadurappa, who has a farmer leader, labor leader image, getting the Lingayat vote intact, and he is now made the leader.
So no lessons learned. Rohan? Yes.
Even in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, BJP declared candidates much before everybody else.
That's right.
Because they realized that the Modi factor is not working in state elections. Announce candidates because vocal for local. Do not project faces, project a combined leadership and also the Modi factor.
Yes, and ensure that
On
your
top of it.
MPs actually go and contest on the ground. So there was that effort as well. Yes, quickly, and then I'll bring in Rohan and...
Maria, basically when you don't announce a
Ajay.
chief ministerial candidate, of course Shivraj Singh Chauhan is very popular in the state, cutting across different social strata, women in particular, because of various schemes, Ladli Behna, latest of them. Those people, section of people who are not, though sympathizer of BJP, but not really very happy with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, for various reasons. Their reasons, actually people cite their reasons for not being happy with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, but still liking the BJP. For them, this was an outlet. that leadership question is open. At the same time, if I am supporter of Maria Shakil, I would go whole hog, do everything possible to make you or anybody else, you as some leader, to make him the leader, and therefore the entire energy, the collective leadership strategy comes into the play. The central leadership here was very much on the job right from the beginning, unlike last time. Last time there was a certain degree of complacency in Madhya Pradesh unit, so much so a general secretary is also asked to contest there. He seemed to be not very happy, so is some other leaders,
Yes.
but then it is force of the central leadership that made them work there.
So it's about discipline.
So it's also about discipline, also about building kind of a social coalition, building people, charging various people for various other people.
Okay, so was the BJP more organized than the Congress, Rohan Gupta?
I don't think
Madhya
so.
Pradesh?
Basically, no, I don't think so. BJP, if they were organized and they were confident, they wouldn't, it was not compulsory for them to ensure that the central minister or MPs also fight the election. That it clearly shows that they were jittery. There was strong anti-incumbency. And I'll tell you now, since the elections are over, see the basic problem where BJP is getting stuck now is all the elections they want to fight on the national leaders. It is not possible. You have three different elections in India. One is Lok Sabha, one is state elections, and one is local body. The issues are different. The leaders are different. This is the biggest mistake BJP did, even in Karnataka, where they had a tall leader like Yedurappa. He was cut to size, and they had to face the results. Same thing in Rajasthan. What I feel, they had one. They fight badly. What I'm saying about one leader? I am saying you have to have number of leaders, state leaders who should be projected, and your central leadership can support that. Okay, the promise made by our local leaders, we will fulfill.
Okay, so
but
there is
here what is
over-reliance. There is an over-reliance is being highlighted here.
No, but
Ajay Alok.
see, they are not contesting the elections only on the factor. That's
Well, first of all, please ask Rohan Gupta to advise to Rahul Gandhi and Congress party instead of advising to us.
No, I'm not
Because the
advising.
leader's credibility
I'm
is
happy.
judged by the
very
performance,
happy.
by the performance he does. So our leader credibility is already established in India, and your leader is
local
yet to
leaders
be
don't have
launched.
credibility.
And don't talk about state leadership. We have plethora of leadership, so you need not bother about it. Wait for 48 hours, you will get the answers. And if you're thinking of forming a government in Telangana, you are in a big dilemma. Wait for 48 hours, Rohan Gupta. In the rest 3 states, you're wiped off.
Okay.
party which
Your overconfidence
used to
is
say,
Please.
party which
No,
used to
he
say,
has spoken about BRS. Let's get a quick response also from him. Yes, please go ahead, Mr. Reddy.
The same answer to Mr. Rohan, because what I say is, when
See, both
Mr.
are
Rohan
same.
says that Congress
BJP,
is
BRS
super
are one.
poor,
I can prove
Congress
on the
was
national
power
TV.
for 11 terms in Telangana, and last time,
This is why we are
despite the
winning
defeat in
Telangana. Thank you.
2018 also, they have formed the government after looking into the exit polls. But what has happened? Finally, they have 4 MLAs now, 5 MLAs. What were they would want to talk about? Had issue was really for the poor, why will all these parties emerge in the country? That is the pity of Congress.
So what
When they
happens
come
to
with the
Mr.
guarantees in
KCR?
Telangana, they could not implement even one
Will
guarantee
he,
any
no,
of the
in
states
case
that
if
they
the
were
results
talking.
are as per the exit polls, then will Mr. KCR join the India bloc? Or will he be welcomed by the India parties, which includes Rohan Gupta and others?
Let me not comment on that. What I say is 48 hours from now, we are going to form the government. This is for sure.
Okay.
The writing is on the wall in Telangana. I don't know what he's talking.
Okay.
Maybe he was
Well,
in
it's still a
Telangana for the
good
last
idea
3
for
months.
them to
I'm here
change
for
the
the last
name
so
from
many years.
TRS to BRS. Please ask him.
Okay.
In retrospect, do you think the name change from TRS to BRS was a good idea?
But
Yeah,
TRS
but-
to BRS will ensure their VRS from Telangana.
What is that?
That's a
Local
line that has
consultancy.
come from the Congress, a headline certainly there, Rohan Gupta. Okay.
So you will get VRS, boss. You have become BRS, but you will not be saved. You will get VRS from Telangana. Tata, bye-bye.
Rohan, you come back to Hyderabad on December 3rd, you'll come to know what
Yeah, I am
exactly
coming
is going
tonight.
to happen on
We will
December
meet
3rd.
tomorrow. I am
You
coming
please come
tonight.
back to Hyderabad, then I'll show you.
I am
Have
coming.
you seen the development? The development what has happened in Telangana, could you see in any of the states where you are campaigning presently? As the other
That's why you will
panelists
get
have rightly
VRS
said,
now.
we have welfare schemes, we have development, we have beautiful city, we have the livable city.
It's time
most
for
lovable
VRS.
City. We have all sectors developed in Telangana, in Hyderabad especially. What that you have done in other states? You just show me one state which is on par with Telangana, one state.
People of Telangana will answer you, not me.
Yeah,
just
let
wait for
them
48
answer.
hours.
Let them answer.
Professor,
they have answered you any number of times.
okay, so we'll ask the politicians to hold horses, because when the results will come, we'll know the truth, the real verdict, as they say. Professor Sandeep Shastri, of course, we'll know the picture, the big picture on 3rd. But the question is also that we did not see a Hindutva narrative in these elections. These were not elections which were polarizing in nature.
I think all parties have realized that if you have to do well in a state poll, you need to focus on local issues. You need to focus on the issues of the people on the ground. And I think that's the reason what you see visible as part of the campaign is an attempt by all the major political players to focus on local issues, to focus on local dimensions of the election. And that's why I made the point at the start of your campaign that in state assembly elections, the state is verily the center of politics, and therefore it varies across the 28 states of the country.
So state is the center of politics. The last word and the final word to the woman on the panel, Manisha Priyam.
I would like to say that the state level electorate matters very much. New states, old states, incumbents, anti-incumbency.
Big, large.
All theories have been put to rest. Certainly big, largest. And I was just thinking as this argument was going on, my heart was coming back to Telangana. In the combined state of the old Andhra Pradesh, the way to uprooting a Congress government was a charismatic leadership of N.T. Rama Rao. And remember always the 1 rupee a kilo rice scheme that drew women to the electorate. And I think those two remain very important parts of the political script for much of welfareism and much of the routes through which you could upend an established Congress party. Now even that script being rewritten in the very place where its birth happened, I cannot wait anymore for December 3 to come about. I think varying theories about incumbency, anti-incumbency, pro-incumbency, welfareism working and not working to the south of the Vindhyas, where welfareism has been the route to power for Dravidian parties, and the Andhra that was not a Dravidian sentiment-led party even there. Now Rajasthan becomes another one that's tailgating that. So I would see a crisscross, a mishmash, but people are the ultimate sovereigns, and that's what it should be in an election. And I wait therefore for December 3 for the verdict itself.
So we'll wait for December 3rd. Thank you so much, Sanjay Singh, Amitabh Tiwari, Manisha Priyam here in the studio, Ajay Alok, Rohan Gupta, Professor Sandeep Shastri, Sanjay Singh here, and G. Reddy for joining us. Of course, this was the big focus on Big Five. The focus is now on 3rd. And we'll return next week with another episode of the Big Five. Thanks so much for watching.